Welcome guys to our workshop. In workshops, we will do a particular meeting with our members or mentors about how to implement some specific features so you can directly grab these and implement in your pipeline if you want. Today, we will talk about how to make a cross-platform design application, and I don't want to take a lot of your time, so I will go directly to the topic. Again, I will explain this on how we are doing things. It's not necessary that you need to do this, but it's just a showcase, right? So to understand what problems can be with cross-platform implementation, let's take a look at one of these videos. So this one, for example, right? As you see, the dialogue is changing itself. Or the second one, it's when the page basically changing the layout. And you see that the page is directly different from the start as from the beginning. Okay, so as you see, when you implement a cross-platform application, you may struggle with some implementation, like when you are opening a dialog, you may be ask yourself what happening on the mobile, or how to reuse some specific view on the mobile and still not break anything in case of the design, or in general how we can reuse this view on the mobile devices as well, which I show you right now. When you start working on a project, you initially need to break down all of the views. And before you implement this, you already need to ask yourself a question about how this will look on different platforms, either mobile or desktop. So on the next slide, just give me a second. So to answer on these questions, basically how we can work with a cross-platform application, right? To answer on this question, suggesting you initially understand what is the difference between adaptive and responsive design. A responsive design can change its layout on appearance based on the screen sizes of the device it's accessed on, from the large desktop computer to a small mobile phone. An adaptive design requires a creation of a different layouts for each device and websites will be accessed on. So shortly, responsive design, it's when the layout needs to decide how to react on size which parent will give to him. And adaptive, in this case, it's when you tell the layout how he will looks like based on some sizes. So again, responsive, it's when the layout needs to decide how he will react on the size. And adaptive, it's when you tell him how he will look based on different sizes. If we go to the next one, so why I'm showing this screen basically. So when we have this understanding, I can tell you that we are using in our approach, in our application, we are using both of them. So we basically using an adaptive and the responsive in the same time. But I want to break this down. So if we will use an atomic design as an understanding, as the description here, right? If we will use an atomic design as well, to quickly understand, we break all our views to atoms, molecules, organisms, templates, and pages, as you see here as well. Just remember this, and we will go to the next slide. I will try to describe this. So the next one is, as you see, it's basically some kind of our page from our platform. As you see, it's breakdown to the molecules, templates, and organisms as well. So in this page, it's just so in our application, the pages is just responsible for routing information, passing in arguments, and work with them. So all of this, right? The purple one is it's a page. It's only responsible for the routing. So how to pass the arguments, how to get the arguments, etc. On all our pages, we are using a big layouts or templates in this case, which basically used by us as adaptive layouts, which we can control and say how they will look like on the big or small platforms. So we're telling them how they will look like on different sizes. We're telling them this. We can remove, change position, or do whatever which we want with them. So basically this red is the templates, as you see, and we want to tell them how they will look on different platforms again. the smaller pieces here, which is the organisms and molecules, we are use them with responsive approach, which means they are rich on size of the parent. The smaller piece is actually loading the data and showing it in a React way or as you wish. So small pieces can be reusable and actually handle a cache or thread driving if you want. These small pieces is responsible for the reacting on how many size he have, so he react on the size itself. This approach will give you a various number of combination which you can see and easily use, right? So if we will go to the next slide to understand this directly, this is a molecules, right? So in this slide, you can see how our organism is responsible for its own size to hide or show the view if there is not enough size there on the web, or if there, and even if we start making it smaller or bigger, so this is a smaller size, this is a bigger size, the organism will react on the bigger pieces, such as templates. So these organisms all included inside the templates, and they react on the sizes which they have. So if they have a small size, they will react on this and make a different view, or just show or hide a view if they don't have enough size. So if I will go to the next one, here you see a better, right? So this is a web view and this is a mobile one. So as you see, again, if there will be enough space to show a full description inside an organism, I mean, if a parent layout on the mobile or web will give him an enough size, and the parent layout in this case is a template, the same name, right? Will give him an enough size to show all information. He will react in this way to show all information as well. And this is a good explanation. We go to the previous slide, right? You can also think the molecule here is just responsible for the size, so he react on the size which he have. Okay, so if I will try to break down this also, if I will try to draw these elements, you can see here all organisms, how they change in their looks on different platforms. But also you should understand that they all controlled by templates. So templates in this case decides where to show them, and organisms are only responsible on how to show them. The next slide will also show the same. So the blue colors here, the blue rects here is basically a templates. So the 1, 2, and 3, this is a templates. And inside these templates, we have a molecules. So we use templates to change basically the position of these layouts. And the big template can be change its direction based on different platforms, right? So this is also a video, right? Let's take a look on this. Here, right, this is a complete example. I hope this video will explain you the point which I'm trying to tell you about. So when the screen gets bigger, the layouts can change their position. And inside this layout, we have an organisms which can change their view. They react basically on the layout which give them the size, and they change their view how they look like based on this design, right? Okay, so the next one, last but not least, is a dialogues. So it's probably the easy way to understand the logic here. Depending on your framework or how you are implementing, in your case, it can be different, but in our case, we understand that any dialog should also persist on the mobile, or in case if view is resizing, it should looks like a page on the mobile, because otherwise will be no space in some cases. And we do not want to handle each case. I mean, each dialog one by one, because in case if it will be too complex and time consuming. That's why we decided to create a page with actually transparent background, and then page itself will be responsible on the size, understand the size of the parent layout or a screen itself, and even remove a padding on make a background opacity to the 0. So if I will show you this video, right, you see when the screen size making smaller, this dialog become a full view page. It also can be named as a full dialog, right? But it's because the paddings are removed. The background is not with the opacity, and the container view was the same. Basically, it's not changing. So this is the end, right? It basically it. I hope this was value for you, and you will find something new for yourself. Also, I want to mention that we will do these workshops more in our Discord channel. So if you want to check the news or be on this workshop as a speaker, let us know. Thank you for your time.